What's up, YouTube family? Gerald Greenlee here with Clean and Green Lawn Service in beautiful South Georgia. Hope y'all are having a great day, man. Y'all see that? 216.4. This is the Hustler Super S 60-inch with a VX deck, powered by the Kawasaki FX850 VEFI, 25 or 29.5 horsepower. Y'all know all about the Super S, man. Look at the sky. I wanted to put this out in the yard and look at it. I think it's gonna rain though. Let's move it. I'll move it out on the grass anyway so you can have a look at it. Oh, by the way, I know y'all saw my coffee, man. Here we go. What do I think about this machine? Well, y'all know I've had several problems with this machine in its 200 hours. Yep, the weather's about to get bad here. This has been replaced. That does look like a new and improved piece. Used to, these supports only come up to here. So this whole deck lift assembly, all that, I've got a video of me replacing it. So these were two different pieces that had to be replaced, and they broke on two separate occasions, but I put them all back on the same time. So that was two claims. The spring that y'all saw me fighting with the other day under there, that was a warranty claim. This seat's a warranty claim. That's garbage. I do like how it's got the foam is made there, designed to kind of hold you in, if you know what I'm saying. See that? The seams though, my opinion, garbage. I'm gonna apologize for the thunder. This gauge is not accurate. When you fill it up, it doesn't quite go to full, and the good news is it'll run a good while on E. Another thing I would say, one fuel tank. I know the Super SF, they have fixed this. One fuel tank, you can usually only put about 7 gallons in it. You can't run a whole day on it. Come on, man, really? That little cheap sticker. Ease of access to get to everything on this this mower is really good. I mean, you can get to everything on the engine. Of course, you can take those covers off, get to your pulleys and all that. If you loosen this bad boy up here, of course, you can get to everything. You can see the hydros, the pumps and all under there. This thing's filthy too, by the way. But you can lift that up and this just pops right off. Back access. Those are just slotted and it just slides up. I got one hand, I'm not taking it off for y'all. So, what do I think about this machine? I love this machine. I really do. There's some things I don't like about it, but all in all, it's the first standard I've ever had. I don't have a standard to compare it to. The VX is a good cutting deck. It's like any other deck. It does not do well with Bahia. You know, not on a single cut anyway. So, it disperses grass good, and it doesn't really clump that bad. It's got a little piece right here that the rep told me, that's a little deflector, and it can be replaced. What'll happen over time, it'll wear out, and you put a new one in. But this catches the grass without blocking the whole baffle, I guess, and kind of bust it up a little bit. Of course, I am running the grass flap on it. The cable's broken. That has absolutely nothing to do with Hustler. Aftermarket part. I got one on order, should be here, I think, like in about 2 days. So, battery, really easy to get to. Right here, just put a new battery in the other day because I'm having another issue. I'm not sure if it's not charging, or if I know I had a bad battery because they tested it. Now, did it go bad because it wasn't charging right? I don't know. Talk a little bit about something else I don't like. I do like that Got a place under here you can hook to if you get stuck, because y'all know we like ponds and ditches. This platform is less than desirable. Basically, you got these two springs, and I'm gonna show you how easy that is to push down. I'm doing that with my hand without a lot of force. So that's your suspension, and then under here you got these rubber bushings, right? Like shock absorbers, and it's not a very good ride. I've seen some of them that's got like some gas mounted rams and stuff on them that I would think would probably be better. It's not a bad ride, because again, your body, I mean, it does give. See that? I shouldn't say it's terrible. I just think there are probably other ones out there that have a better. As far as the stand-on period, one of the things I love about this machine that I would probably love about any machine, I got the camera in front of my face. I am looking down now at the front of the deck, right? Now I'm having to bend over to do it. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. I'm looking down at everything in front of me. Very visible, right? This camera, again, this camera is right in front of my, like in front of my nose. My neighbor's alarm's going off on their car right in front of my nose, and so I'm looking around. A lot of visibility. Look down. At the college, one of the sides that we cut out there, they cut down, I guess, a bunch of pine trees, and they, the stumps, they just rotted out, so it created a lot of holes. And Elro, I cut that the other day. The first time I've ever cut it, I've heard Elro and the boys talk about it. So I went out there and I hardly hit any of those holes. And Elro made a statement. He said, man, you can't tell where they're at. You know, he said, I've learned where they're at, because he's the one that generally cuts that. I said, I saw every one of them. He said, really? I said, yeah, but you got to think, I'm 5'10", and I would imagine that gives me almost a foot. So, see that? Let me just put this in front of my face. So that gives me, I'm looking down at what I'm cutting from at least 6.5 foot, okay? If you include this platform, me standing on it at my eye level, 6.5 foot. Whereas if I'm on one of these sit downs over here, I don't have quite the same height on it. And I'm not looking down at what I'm doing as much as I'm probably looking out, you know. So to me, the visibility is better, you know. So now, obviously, you know, I've had some aggravation with this thing, just with little things breaking that I think shouldn't break, things not holding up. That didn't cost me any time on the job. This didn't cost me any time on the job. It was just aggravating. I had to pry it to get the deck up and down. It didn't cost me a minute on the job. The spring didn't cost me a minute on the job. It was really a safety issue. Those springs are not to give you a good ride. I was showing you that a while ago. Those springs let that platform come back up. When that platform comes back up, it hits the safety switch, so that if you get off with your blades off, it'll shut the thing off. It would stay down like that, and you could get off the mower with the blades on without that spring. So that was really just a safety issue there. I have had some downtime with the battery. And again, if it's the battery, if that's all it is, there's really nothing a manufacturer can do about that. I mean, you go buy the same battery, one lasts a year, one lasts 4 years. You don't ever really know how it's going to work out. But I have had some downtime with that. And if it ends up being, you know, something with the charging system or whatever, you know, that's going to end up, and it's really a Kawasaki issue then, but, you know, it all goes back to the manufacturer, man. It all goes back to the manufacturer. I built boats for 18 years. They didn't care if we put a Mercury in them, a Volvo in them. It didn't really matter to them what kind of engine we put in. If there was a problem with it, they said, hey, there's a problem with this Regal, right? Or this Bayliner. I work for 2 different companies. And so I'm extremely happy with this. My next purchase, though, is probably not going to be another standard. I'm probably going to purchase a sit down. And the reason I say that is because the Stander, I love running it. You know, the boys run this sometimes they run the Super Z. They kind of go back and forth. I don't know that they have a huge preference, but I need another good one long term, because, you know, like with Elro's got to have something to sit on, and I don't mind sitting down. I just like the Stander. It's become my preference. It's the one that's on my trailer, and it's the one that I use when it's on the job. But I definitely would recommend this. I don't know anything about the Super SF, other than the fact on the Super SF you can get some big motors on it. One of the things that I do not like about this, not quite as happy about, is the fact that we got 60 inches and 29.5 horsepower. I'd like to have at least 31 horsepower. There is a noticeable difference between the 850 EFI and the non-EFI. 27 horse on the X1, 29.5 on here. Noticeable difference. So anyway, that's just a quick rundown on the machine. I get a lot of questions about it, and so I just thought I'd kind of share that. I know I've been you know, the last couple of videos I've been a little bit frustrated with some of the things happening on it, and so I want to give a fair assessment. Now this is at 200 and what did I say, 14 hours, something like that. 216.4 hours. So if other things were, I love the machine, but now, you know, the longevity of this machine is in question. The durability of it still in question. 200 hours don't tell you anything about a machine. Not when we are out here trying to run these things for certain 1,000 or 1,500, maybe trying to get 2,500 out of them and then swap engines and get us another couple of thousand, you know. So 200 hours is a drop in the bucket. Anyway, I'm gonna get off this thing because it is obviously fixing to get ugly out here, and I'm gonna get this thing back under the shelter before that happens. So I'll check back with you. All right, I know that wind's wild. Look at that Hustler line up. I was just checking this thing. The tire was almost flat. I sprayed it, I don't see anything. I may have to put a little bit better soap concentration in there. Anyway, it's about to get nasty out here, so I am going to get off this thing. Man, I hope you enjoyed the video. Drop me a comment, let me know what you think. My prayer for you is always the same, that the Lord might richly bless you, and that you might see all of your blessings as from him. Hope you have a great day.